Michael Scott with Basketball Insiders alongside Brooklyn Nets guard Joe Harris. And Joe, thank you for the time first and foremost. Hope you had a happy holiday with your family.
Thank you.
One of the things for you coming to Brooklyn, coming off of last season, you had a chance to only play a total of 15 minutes due to injury. And this year you've already set a career high for yourself in total minutes played. And just curious, what has this opportunity in Brooklyn done for you in your career to this point, in your young career so far?
I think it's been huge. I mean, just being able to have the opportunity, like you said, to get out and play and help contribute. You know, my 2 years in Cleveland, I only got really a chance to play early on, you know, my rookie year, and then I was a little bit limited last year, and then obviously having the surgery halfway through the year kind of put me out. But it's been great, you know, being here, being a part of something, and trying to, you know, kind of rebuild this organization.
And one of the guys that you dealt with in Cleveland is also here in Trajan Langdon. How much did the comfortability between the two of you knowing each other from back in your days in Cleveland help you kind of come here and, one, sign here, and two, get settled now that you're here in your new role?
I think it was, you know, one of the main reasons. You know, I had the familiarity with Trajan and him with me. So, you know, I think just like the fact that we were together in Cleveland is really the sole reason why I ended up here.
And for you also, as we look ahead towards 2017, what individual goals do you have for yourself as you get ready to turn the calendar?
You know, individually, I don't really have, you know, a whole lot. I think, you know, one of the big things with us is just Kenny and Sean and everybody's always preaching about, you know, the process and sticking with it and staying with the process. And that's kind of what's, you know, on the forefront of my mind. And I think out of everybody else in this locker room, you know, we're just trying to get better day by day.
And for some of the Net fans who may not know, when Joe was at Virginia, you were an all-ACC guy. And one of the things I was curious of is when you're a guy that comes out of college and you've been a star on a team and you come into the NBA and you try to find your niche and find a role where you can excel, how is that adjustment going from a guy that's obviously a clear starter in college and having to work your way, you know, into the NBA and find your niche?
I think, well, people, you know, don't really realize that, you know, majority of the NBA is just made up with, you know, you have a small percentage of superstar players, and then you kind of get in where you fit in. It's a lot of just guys that are real specialized in their roles, and, you know, for me, I knew coming to the NBA, you know, I wasn't going to be one of these superstar guys and being like the main guy that I might have been in college. You know, everybody in the locker room was the main guy in their college or wherever professional team they might have played before. So, you know, you have to get in and figure out, you know, where your talents best suit the team.
And for you, obviously, one of those things is shooting. Just curious also, and the last question before I let you go, being that you spent 4 years in college, there's always a lot of talk about, you know, whether guys should be a one and done and with that rule. And I'm just curious, for you being a guy that spent 4 years in college, how do you feel that that affected your individual transition to the NBA game, both on and off the court?
For me, I mean, I didn't really have any other way. I was never going to be one of those guys really that contemplated kind of leaving early. So I thought the 4 years for me was huge from a developmental standpoint, and, you know, just being able to be mature coming into the NBA, I think is a big thing, and, you know, something that, you know, if I were to go back on it, I wouldn't change it at all.